Hello, my name is Martin. Welcome to our very first episode of My Journey Abroad. The show is powered and produced by Addict Films Limited. Now, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel, share this video, make it a point to visit the website addictfilms.com. We are at Common Lens Inn. It's a beautiful place along Entebbe Road in a place called Wevaja. Now, if you want to have a good drink, like the one that I'm having, you want to have some quality time with somebody that you love and care about, this is the right place. Check out the website Common Lens Inn to get more detail, commonlens.com. Now, we have a beautiful show lined up for you today. Nina kuwera no mukyala. Nina kwanjagala no mukyala Rashida Najinda. Omukyala ono yagenda South Africa omwaka gwali gwa 2011. Era she has one of the most powerful stories you will ever know. It is such an honor having you for Cameroon, sweetheart.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
You okay?
Yes, I'm fine.
So, if anybody ever got to ask me, omukyala ono gwenjogera naye Rashida Najinda yani, omugambo otya?
Rashida Najinda, mukyala, mama, mukyala Uganda. Yes, nga mukyala neddira musu.
Omusu?
Yes.
Omusu mu Lungereza baguyita batya? Omusu.
I don't know.
I don't know either, but almost. Okay. So Rashida waba mu ggwanga lino omwaka 2011. Bwe nkutunulira bwenti ndabanga akyali omukyalo omuto. So emyaka 10 emabega egyo kiragira ddala nti no wali you are a kid virtually.
Yeah.
Take me through what inspired you, maybe who inspired you to make that decision to leave this country and go to South Africa so young.
Yeah, you know, Uganda, I was a campusser by then. I was in my first year. Campusser atya? Wow. I was studying at Makerere University.
Oh, Makerere University.
Yes, in my first year.
Okay.
So, you know Uganda.
Oh, yeah?
It was a struggle. We were struggling with school, with tuition and school, like materials, requirements. So, I was with my uncle. He was also struggling.
Okay, your uncle yali akulabirira emyaka egyo?
Yes. Yali andabirira, yali asasula fees. Nenga, he was also struggling because yali atusasula abana bangi.
Oh, yes.
I was not the only kid, so. And I was also sponsored by my sister in South Africa. Okay. So at time yatukanga, I was at school. Nenga, I'm struggling. Sina requirements. You know, I was doing IT.
Oh yeah.
You know,
it takes a lot of things to do IT.
So I needed a laptop. I needed a lot of stuff. So it was so hard for my uncle.
Okay.
Since I had, like, I don't have one sister, but there is this sister particularly who was sponsoring me.
What's the name of that young lady?
Madina.
The sister. She's called Madina.
Madina, yeah.
Madina Najinda also.
No, she's Muyingo.
Okay.
She took her father's name. She's Muyingo Madina. So she invited me because she's the one who had that idea. Nangamba, why don't you come here, study from here and work? Because I see you're struggling already. How will you finish the 3 years?
Ekitegeeza ekyakuwugula kubeera nti n'osobola ogenda n'osoma
nga
bwempungu osobola n'okukola.
Yes. So kubanga mba nsobola okwesupporting.
Oh yeah.
That's when she's the one who sponsored everything for me to go to South Africa. Okay,
mpulira emboozi nnyingi ey'abantu abagenze e Suudi. Watambula otya ye? Wagendera mu nnyonyi oba wagenda bino byaffe ebyokwetetenkanya ebyekididibada?
Nali nnyanyonyi. Nali
alinamu kasente.
Nze saalina naye nga we nkugambye nalina sponsor who's my sister.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ekyayisa kitya omukulu ono yali akulabirira emyaka egyo? I mean, I'm taking care of this young lady for all this time and she has to leave.
Uncle.
Yeah, your uncle.
Teyalina buzibu kuba naye yali already a struggle.
Yawulanga gwe bawewudde.
Yes, kuba yalina abaana bangi balabirira.
Okay.
Yeah, so kati it was even a relief for him.
Oh, it was a relief, yeah.
Yeah. So kati yakina mbuzibu, he supported me. He was like, it's okay, you can go as long as you're gonna study. So that's how I traveled. So,
what you say a Sudi? What was the adjustment like for you? Okuvambula mu bwaffe buno obwe waffe Kampala wano. N'ogenda. Wagenda Johannesburg, was it?
Johannesburg.
Yeah, Johannesburg.
Yeah.
Adjustment process yo yali etya?
It was very different. You know.
How different was it?
You know, our cultures are very different. So reaching there, it was a very big country, big city. So
more beautiful than ours.
Oh
obviously.
my God. That's an understatement. So it was very beautiful. So
how long did it take you to actually come from, just getting there, then how long did it take you to do that?
Because like so it wasn't so hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
But did you said what school was it?
UNISA, University of South Africa, in Pretoria. Yeah.
Okay. How long did it take you to come from just getting there? What was the span of time?
It took me like 3 months. I went there on a visitor's visa. So those 3 months, my sister was working on the study permit.
Oh yeah.
So it took me 3 months to enroll in UNISA.
So otandise okusoma. Ekintu kyemanyi sagala kulimba nti no manyi nnyo suudi eyo. Naye kyempulira mu mawulire n'abantu bemanyi abavuddeyo enneeyisa yaabwe yawukanira ddala ku yaffe.
Yeah. Obviously.
So ate jjukira kati ogenda mu ssomero. A university ogimanya abaana balina amasappe bakulaba mu ngeri ya njawulo. What was it like for you relating with this caliber of people that were extremely different from you?
It was hard for me, obviously. It was very hard. I was a simple girl from a simple town. So, where there are so many kids, because South Africa, but from different countries.
Oh, but when it says, is it all down?
Yeah. Bambava, Nigeria, even very far countries.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's very hard of only kangambe or joining the different kind of people, culture. I was very intimidated.
What will get Remani? Apparently some idiot tried to pull your hair. Some idiot. Yeah. I'm sorry for saying that.
Yeah.
Take me through that experience.
Oh. Yeah, that was my first day at school.
First day at school and an idiot begins pulling to your hair?
Yes. I remember this girl was a colored. Her name is...
Colored baby nabakola colored like...
They are not black, they are mixed.
By yellow.
The colors,
okay.
Half white, half black.
Oh, between these one.
Yes.
Okay.
She those people are very, very stubborn. So this girl was Shireen. I was black. I had long hair, very long, beautiful hair.
Oh, sure.
So these people never thought that a black person could have this long hair.
And like
naturally, South Africa, even those colors, most of them.
Well, that's a good thing for us Ugandans then.
Yes.
That's a good thing. Yes. That's something to be proud of, eh?
Yeah, we have beautiful hair.
So she was jealous, essentially.
I don't know. Maybe she tried to bully me. Maybe she tried. Yeah, I don't know her intention, but she pulled my hair thinking it's a wig, because no one believed that I could have that long hair.
Oh.
So she pulled my hair. And it was like a commotion. There is a boy who came asking what had happened. So everyone was surrounding me, I was so scared. So this boy reported this girl to the administration.
Oh.
So that same day, they called us both. Actually, this girl became one of my best friends.
Wow. What made that happen?
Because what she had done is she had bullied me, and that's a very big offense. So
maybe
like so different. Treating especially a foreigner, because I was yeah. There is a way you're protected because there are so many people from different countries, like I told you.
Oh yeah. So the university has this setup that protects foreigners.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So this girl was called. She was told to apologize to me. Actually, she found me so simple. Like I told her, I'm a very simple person. I take things easy. So she never expected my reaction. I just thought, I know it's cool. Like we started out. Yes. I've gone through a lot, yeah. So we became cool friends. That's how it all started.
You said what was the name of that young lady?
Shireen.
You guys are still in touch?
Yeah. I even have a number. We talk.
So your experience at UNISA,
yeah.
How long did it take for you at that university?
Oh, I was there for about a year. Then my sister had...
A year? That is interesting, like a year? You were supposed to be doing a degree program, I believe, yeah?
Yeah.
Why was it the year that you spent there?
You know, because by then I didn't have a working visa, so I wasn't supposed to be working. No, by then my sister had a small shop where I used to work.
And she used to pay you?
Yes. But unfortunately, she got some financial issues with her husband, so that shop, I don't know what happened. It collapsed maybe. So she had financial issues.
So that's how your experience ended,
At school, yes.
At school, that particular university?
Yes, because my sister was struggling to pay my tuition again. So she told me what you have to do now is to work on that working visa, so that you first work, then you go back to school. So it was a big problem.
I'm trying to understand what you were going through at that time, because if it was me, then I would be thinking, why did you bring me here in the first place? Yeah. I mean, I thought you got your act together. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, she was.
I mean, I've come from Kampala.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I mean, like, I don't mean to be rude, but I'm thinking, you have let me down. Because you come from this country when you're thinking, I am going to go to school and I'm going to become this, or I'm going to become that. And now you cannot live up to the promise that you made to me. Was that the kind of thing that went through your head as well? Did you at one time find some kind of anger? Did you have some kind of anger against your sister? Yeah.
No, that's not how I felt. Because for me, I didn't blame her for anything. Because she had good intentions. So she
just failed in her endeavor.
Yeah, things just came bad. So I had to understand. So she sat me down. She told me, you know what, we have to work on the working visa now. That, because I couldn't work before with a student visa.
No, you couldn't.
Yeah. So I had processed the working visa. So it took me quite time to get it. So by that time, things got hard for me. I was lonely again, bored. I wasn't studying.
It's interesting. You've spoken all this time, and I'm thinking, for a girl your age, 2011, the first year, you suddenly have somebody that you left in Kampala that you loved and cared about.
Yeah.
Was there somebody like that for you? Somebody that got hurt when you left the country?
Of course. There was that.
Did you even think about them when all that nonsense happened to you?
We were in touch.
You were still in touch?
Yes. Facebook was there, WhatsApp was there, so we were in touch.
Oh, WhatsApp in 2011? Wow.
Yes.
God, okay.
I was talking to him, I was telling him all my struggles. At times he used to tell me, you come back.
Obviously, it was just him being, trying to be opportunistic.
No, I don't think he was.
Somewhere,
I was telling him about my struggles. So he was like, if you're not studying now, come back.
Come away with it.
Yes. Because I was not working, I was not studying, so it was all a mess. Actually, I thought of coming back. But then that's a time when we were chatting on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
That's when I got a message from my friend, whom I knew from Facebook.
Who was this friend?
He was my friend who was studying in South Africa, but he was in Cape Town.
Rashida.
Yes.
Ongambye wave Johannesburg. Naye nga kyava ku Facebook message.
Yeah. Facebook.
Facebook?
Yeah.
You almost make me hate what Facebook provides.
Why? For me, I'm always grateful for Facebook.
Okay, let's talk about Facebook. So you received this thread from somebody that you do not know, or at least somebody that you've never met, face to face, and you make a grand decision based on that.
Yeah.
Take me through that experience.
I never thought that I would meet, I would get a man from Facebook. Because for me, Facebook was for connecting with friends.
Oh, yeah.
So this is a guy I was chatting with on Facebook, but I never took him seriously until I was in Johannesburg.
Oh, yeah.
So I never.
But what prompted you to take him seriously this time? Obviously, you had
because we were
said
in the same country by then.
Okay.
We were in the same country. Like I told you, we were friends. So I went to Cape Town to visit a friend I met on Facebook. So that's when Facebook connected us. So, and forever I was grateful. I met this wonderful person on Facebook.
So your sister, I'm almost feeling sad for this because I mean, if you're going to tell me, I brought you here to study, become what you are supposed to become. Then in Kera no ngambo manyi waliwo omuntu gwinabyo ku Facebook. I'm going to go and visit them.
Of course, I didn't tell her that.
Oh, you lied?
Remember, I told her this is a person I knew we were studying with. So I couldn't tell her straight that I didn't know this person. I lied. It was a white lie.
You lied?
Yes.
What prompted you to trust this guy? That he was telling you the truth? That he was going to be the man that he said he was on Facebook?
I think it's luck. It was out of my control. It's luck.
You just trusted your instinct?
Yes. I can't say that maybe there is something he did that made me trust, but it's luck. I was just lucky.
Did you ever feel that, down here in Kampala, you were breaking a man's heart? Because you told me you were dating somebody down here. And this guy still had hope.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, if I was to chow away to Joe, like to Sigalanga, you hold on, I so good that. So you just threw away this guy like that?
But when you travel, that conversation always comes up. Like someone can, but if you ever find someone, you let me know. So that's why I told him. I didn't keep him in the dark. So when I found Kasim and we connected, so I told him.
I respect you for that because, and by the way, this I tell to so many people, honor me with a no.
Yeah.
Either way, let's talk about your journey from Johannesburg to Cape Town. First of all, how did this guy convince you? Because it takes a real eloquent person to convince somebody that they don't know that you should travel that far to come and meet me in a place like that.
Like I told you, when I reached Cape Town, I told him about my goals. So when I told my sister that I'm gonna work on my working permit or visa in Cape Town, so she was okay with it. She's like, as long as you get it, it's fine. So, but this guy was already telling me something else. Like he wanted me to stay over there.
Oh yeah.
So I officially became the girlfriend. But I couldn't tell my sister. She knew I was working on the working visa to work. But this guy promised, you tell your sister I'm gonna take you back to school. You're gonna be working. Everything's gonna be fine. So I had to convince my sister.
Okay, Rashida, you traveled by plane to that place, yeah? And you met this guy for the first time. What was your first impression of him?
Kasim?
Oh, yeah?
He was a tall guy.
Was he everything you ever dreamt of?
Not really at the moment, because I didn't know him well, so I was getting to know him. So I can't say that he had everything I wanted, but he was, I was impressed when I saw him.
No, you can be like, oh, thank God this person is not ugly. That happened to you?
I think I showed him
a Facebook page, a Facebook profile picture is not bad.
Yes.
It's not a lie. This is the real guy.
Yes, he was exactly the way he was.
Oh, yeah.
So I think my action showed I was happy and impressed. I hugged him, I was happy. We talked through up to his home.
So he takes you to his home. What was his apartment like?
Very beautiful. It was a very big apartment, bigger than where I was staying with my sister. Because with my sister, it was just two of us. But for him, it was a 3-bedroom apartment. Okay. Because he was staying with other friends, other Ugandan guys.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you were the only female that was going to call that place home for a while?
Yeah.
How can you be so trusting of men?
I don't know. Maybe because I was in a foreign country.
Or maybe because you were in love at first sight.
I don't know.
Has it ever occurred? Have you ever thought about that? You were smitten.
Maybe, but I was just happy to be in a new place. I was bored of Johannesburg by then, so I was just impressed.
You are overrating boredom. I think you were in love, sweetheart.
I don't know about that, because I think I wasn't yet in love. I was meeting a friend. That's all I knew. So I was impressed, because Cape Town was so beautiful. I enjoyed Cape Town.
Okay, I'm going to believe you just this once, but I have my reservations. I've seen girls do some crazy things when they are in that position.
Yeah.
So you go to this guy's apartment, and Of course, he did impress you with the way that he looked. But let's talk about mannerisms. What made him different from every other person that you had met before?
Oh, I loved his character. You know, when I reached there, he was staying with these Ugandan guys. They really liked him so much. And I found out like he was taking care of them. He was the one buying them groceries. So he was a man of people. So I liked that from him. So that impressed me so much. So I was like, I need to get to know this guy more. So what amused me that these guys already knew me as his girlfriend because they were like greeting me.
So
yes, like I'm picking my girlfriend, but for me, I had told him that we are friends. So, but for me, then I didn't mind that. But what impressed me more is the way he behaved. He was He
was honorable.
Yeah, he was down to earth, kind. Like everybody around him loved him. Yeah.
So you did say that you told him, especially what your dreams were like.
Yeah.
How far did he go in trying to reconcile what your expectations were with what his expectations were of you in regard to that aspect of life?
After I told him about my goals.
Yeah, your goals. Like
he was very supportive because he told me, no, it's fine. You're going to study. You'll go back to school. Like, I think he did everything he promised.
So you went back to school?
Yes.
What school was that?
UWC.
What is
University
that?
of Western Cape.
Okay.
Yeah, so I told him that I had to go back to school. We went there. I enrolled. He paid for everything.
Good.
So then by then, you know, my working visa was out because that's like a month. He paid for everything. So I got a job in Bayport.
Bayport, what do they do exactly?
But they deal in loans. They work hand in hand with like FNB. Like they work with banks. They deal with people's loans.
Okay, what exactly were you doing in that place?
I was a loan consultant.
You had experience in loans? How?
Not really, because when I went back to UWC, I was studying already business management. So I had switched from IT to business management.
Oh, so you switched from IT to...
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I started studying, that's when I got a job in Bayport.
Okay.
So I think I didn't last long enough there and I fell pregnant.
That was what that was bound to happen. Like, you don't share a man, you know, you don't share a bed with a man for that long and you're expecting anything else to come. But it's a beautiful thing, actually. You know, you got pregnant and stuff.
Yeah. So remember,
you were ready for that?
No, I wasn't, but he was, and he hadn't told me.
Man, this guy liked you so badly.
Like, I found him ready for anything, and I wasn't. But for me, I just loved the fact that he was supportive.
Okay. So you get pregnant. How did that go?
So when I got pregnant, that's when I told him, but remember, we are not married.
No.
I told him they don't know you.
No, of course your sister is fuming like crazy, I believe, at that time.
No, then she had believed that I'm there working and studying. So for her, she was okay.
She was not thinking that you were dating?
No, she didn't mind.
She didn't mind?
Yeah, she didn't mind because she knew that this guy was now a responsible person taking care of me.
Oh, kati akujjeko emikono agambye waayo omukyala afunye gwayagala.
Yes. Because at some point she came to Cape Town to see where I lived.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, she came. So then she was at peace with everything.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
So when I got pregnant, I told this guy that, you know what, we are not married. At home, they don't know you. Like, what's going to happen?
So the aspect about you getting pregnant.
Yeah. Remember, I told you I got pregnant when I wasn't ready. So, yeah, we sat down. I told him, my parents don't know you yet. So, like, he was very supportive. So it sank in that I'm pregnant now. So he told me I'm gonna be supportive. I want a child. Then we got married.
Wait a second. Did you throw tantrums? Like, I'm not having this child if at all they don't know you.
I didn't.
You didn't?
No. Actually, I think it was bound to happen. He wanted it, but I think everything was happening so fast. But he was okay with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a better man than I am. I've already established that. But anyway, so how did you do it? Like, your parents getting to know?
Yeah, we called them.
To South Africa, or you came back to UG?
No, I just called them. Like, I called them. I told them I found a man, I'm pregnant. They were happy.
So in effect, you called your uncle, the gentleman that was taking care of you?
Yes, the uncle and the wife.
But your sister already, of course, knew about this.
Yeah, I had told my sister already, and she was also supportive.
So they gave you their blessing.
Yeah. So everything went well until I got a miscarriage, and this guy was devastated because he wanted a baby so bad.
Wow. Well. First, wait a second. Like, you get a miscarriage. Did you suspect that something was wrong with you? Something led up to that moment?
No, I didn't know. But I went to hospital. They checked everything and I was okay. So they told me it was a normal miscarriage. So there was nothing I could do about it. So
what did that do to him?
He was devastated, very hurt than I was. Because for him, he was so ready for the child than I was. So he was so hurt and broken. So I took a leave from work.
Oh yeah.
Because
that's Bayport.
Yeah, at Bayport. I remember I was still studying.
Oh yeah.
So I took a leave, but again after like 3 months, I think it was a 3 months leave. So in hospital, remember they had advised me that take a break, like 3 months or 4, then you can conceive again. Then we see. Because they didn't find anything wrong with me.
Oh yeah.
So I conceived again after 4 months. And I was still
that was that's
yes, because then I also wanted a baby. Like I wanted to feel that too.
What you felt before, you wanted to feel it again, yes. Essentially.
Because now I was also ready for a child.
I mean, that's a lucky man, eh? If a girl can conceive, like, and lose a child, then you try again, and the next 4 months.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
Whoa, okay.
So
that's encouraging. Because if I told you spend another year, then I'm like, go on, you're about to
So after 4 months, I conceived again. So we are also happy. We went to, he was in love with the baby. So we used to go to hospital together. He was very supportive.
Oh, yeah.
So reaching the hospital, they told me like my cervix was open, and they told me you might have a miscarriage again. And I'm like, what? We're all very scared, anxious. So he was like, no, let's go to private. Remember, we're in government hospital.
Oh, yeah.
So he went to private to find out. Like we did an appointment for the next day to see why my cervix was open.
Oh, yeah.
But unfortunately, like I got a miscarriage that night before the appointment.
Well, that would destroy any human being.
Yeah. It was very hard for both of us. It was very heavy on us. So.
Wow, isn't this gentleman starting to believe that maybe I'll never have a child if I'm going to stay with the woman that I love?
It came to my mind all that time, but he was very supportive. I was even surprised that he was even taking it well than I expected.
Wow.
Because at the time he told me that, this is like losing a baby. Like, it broke him so much. So I went to hospital. They didn't find, actually this time they took tests.
Oh yeah.
To find out like what was
what
wrong.
Exactly is happening.
Yes. So I got counseling, a lot of counseling from doctors, social workers. So I got normal again. So this is a time even I quit school, like I was going through a lot.
Psychologically, physically.
Yeah, remember I was not working then. Then I stayed home to heal. So it took me like another year.
Wow.
I conceived again.
You're pretty good with this conception thing, eh?
No, this was after a year. So we both went to, so we said, yeah, this time we're going to have this baby. Because even at the hospital, they had told me that when it's the 3rd miscarriage, we have to call your husband so that they check to see if like something is wrong with him, not you. Because they didn't find anything wrong with me.
Wait a second. You want to tell me that if I have a young lady, that has conceived my child,
Yes. because they told me bangamba kisoboka okuba nga temwezaalamu nga muli
like your blood groups oba biki chromosomes biki
nga temwezaalamu kuba bankeberanga every time nga tebalina kye balaba ne bangamba so if you have a third miscarriage we're gonna call your husband.
Then how have cousins of queens and kings given birth to kids within themselves?
I don't know.
Banange, ebintu mchama byangamba sibikiriza munye sagala balimba. But when they returned, there was some success at the end of everything that she just said, and there was, some beautiful people that were born out of it. It's such a beautiful story. Return after this with Rashida and Najinda. I should remind you, Tuliku Common Lens, Nayenga, we are having a good time right here to Chari Kurugirolwa, Rashida and Najinda. Fantastic story. This is my journey abroad. She left this country, went to South Africa. She found love, but also she did find tragedy. We'll return after this. Yes, welcome back. Nchari no Muchala Rashida and Najinda. And I should remind you, we are at Common Lens Inn doing this show, My Journey Abroad. Addictfilms.com, you should check out that website. They produce and power this project. Okay, Rashida, tubadde nabagenda kuwummula ofiiriddwa omwana wo owokubiri.
No, I was pregnant for the third time. Yeah.
Ogwokusatu. Managa is lucky, ogwokusatu.
That's after a year.
No, after a year. This time what you want to cook kabanga.
Yes, after a year.
Okay. And you've gone to the doctors and they have realized a few things. They have warned you against a few things.
Yeah.
Of course you are more careful than you were before, or at least you think you are.
No, actually, I was okay since they told me everything was normal. So for me, I felt okay and confident this time that I'm going to have this baby.
But you were confident in the second one.
Yeah, but I don't know, for some reasons I was very confident for the third pregnancy. Because before, I never reached any doctor's appointment. Then I miscarried. But this time, I reached the doctor's appointment, everything was normal. I was around 2.5 months.
So otandika ddi okulowooza ku bajjajjaabo omanye ebintu bitubaako eyo otandika okulowooza ku beewuwo waliwo abakazi abagezi eyo wano ewaffe wano ogenda e Masaka wano n'osanga abakazi nga bagezi.
No, I think it's the Ugandan community in South Africa that was talking. N'abantu batandikira okwogera ayina nabuguma ayina ekigalanga nabuguma.
Nabuguma bebiki?
Like heat in the
Oh, heat in the abdomen.
Yes.
Okay.
So people started talking. So I was also getting scared.
Oh, you have to be scared.
Yeah. So, but for me, I was also scared for him. You remember, he wanted a baby so bad.
Yeah, ultimately.
So unfortunately, I had a third miscarriage. Again.
Now that destroys a human being.
That broke me. Like, it broke me so bad. And I didn't even want to try again. So my worry was losing this guy. Because I knew how much he needed a baby. But surprisingly...
And you had failed?
Yeah. I felt I had failed him.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I even started telling my friends, I wish you could get a baby somewhere. And they were like, no, you're going to... No, I wouldn't mind at that point, because I knew how bad he needed a baby. So.
Oh, that's brave.
I was talking to my friends, not him. Yes, I was like, I wish you could have a baby somewhere.
So that's what women think when they... I'm sorry, is that what women think when...
I don't know if all women, but for me it crossed my mind.
You're standing in for so many women, and I'm thinking, really, don't do that. If I say I love you, I actually do love you. So don't ever do that.
For me, I knew it was hard on him. And for me, this time I was also very broken. I didn't want to even give it my energy again. I didn't want to fall pregnant.
You didn't want to try again?
So, you remember at home they knew about everything. Oh, so they called me, you're not going to have a child. First come back, take herbs, take this. So, that's only responsible, yeah? So in the hospital, that's when they called both of us. Remember, they told me on the 3rd, we're going to call you and see if there is something with the man. Yeah, then I came back here. because they tested him and he was fine.
So which year is this that we are talking about?
2014.
2014, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I had spent like 5 years without coming to Uganda.
Okay.
So I came back in 2014, July. I took a lot of herbs, like everyone, my auntie.
Wagenda wani, senga bichi?
No, I didn't actually go to places, but there are these judges around who used to come home.
Are these judges, are they old or there are some young girls masquerading?
No, they are like some were even relatives, you know, like having visitors and you tell them that I have this issue, then they tell you take this, the other one advises you take that. So
which village was this that you went? Was it in Kampala?
Village? I didn't go to any village. Actually, there is an aunt of mine. She had just given birth to twins. So I went to visit her. She told me about this lady. She's a midwife. So I went there. She gave me her herbs. So actually I took many herbs. Okay. So my husband followed me from Cape Town. He came to Uganda. I had spent like 1 month. So I fell pregnant in Uganda.
No, you are always good at falling pregnant. Because
like that was my goal.
I've just learned it today.
So he visited and I conceived. So we were all happy. We were all like, I've taken herbs, I've taken everything. Yes, I said this time, this is my baby. So they told me to stay in Uganda for like some time as I take the herbs.
So at this point, you're staying at your uncle's place, yeah?
No, by then I was staying with my husband in a hotel.
Oh, okay.
I first went to my sister's place. I have a sister in Uganda.
Oh, yeah.
So when my husband came, we stayed in a hotel with him. So for him, he left. Because for me, they told me to stay around like 3 months. As the no, he had to work.
Okay.
In as the pregnancy grows, I take some herbs. So by the time I was 3.5 months, I went back to South Africa.
Oh, yeah.
So the first thing he asked me, like, are you still pregnant?
What?
Yes.
This guy did not trust that you can hold on to a pregnancy.
Yes, like he had a lot of disappointments. So that's the first thing he asked me at the airport. Are you still pregnant? Yes. So we waited anxiously. So actually, I think I was very stressed. That's how I got the blood pressure. Because when I was 6 months, high blood
pressure.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was on medication until I gave birth. That's when I had my first baby. It was like happiness all over. The child.
All that fight.
Finally. So
what did he look like in that hospital?
Oh my, I can't express how much. Like he was there since I went till the day I left.
He wanted to make sure.
He was staring at the baby to make sure the baby is fine. And you know, he wanted a baby girl and it was a baby girl.
Aren't you lying to me? Like we all want boys first. I mean,
he always said it like he wanted a girl. Actually, it's me who wanted a boy. Yes, for him he wanted a girl. So he was so happy. The girl had the best experience. Like she had the best life because she was really loved. We waited for so long.
So you gave birth to this young child in South Africa?
Yeah.
You were in South Africa?
Yes.
So essentially your firstborn is South African?
Yes.
Anyway, so that means omugugu ogusinga ogwejjeeko kyekyo? Ozadde omwana ofunye ezzadde essentially n'omusajja ono. So entambula yammwe yeeyongerayo etya?
Everything was good from there.
Oddayo kukola? Did you go back to work?
By this time, yangamba okugenda kukolera edduuka so that you be self-employed since you have a child. Now kola edduuka nga lirimu byabakyala nsawo, makeup.
Okay.
Yeah. Ntandika okukola. So my child was around 2 months by then. You know, she was already in daycare.
Yeah.
So she was around 2 years. I conceived again.
Good.
After 2 years with a baby boy. So I think we lived a very good life. Like, I can't complain. Everything was okay.
You know, the one thing that I credit you for is this guy was lucky. Like, if you have a woman who can conceive that often, then you're a lucky man. You truly are a lucky man. That means you just have to make a decision to zare your mwana. Mwana naja.
Yeah, and it happens.
And it happened. That was special. So your second child, you have them?
Yeah.
When was that?
Boy, that was 2018.
So it was a fantastic experience. The wali was you won. Kampala. Ni wamzala South Africa?
Yes. Nina mzali.
Okay, that was a beautiful episode of your life. It was a extremely fulfilling episode of your life. But I know that was short-lived, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was extremely short-lived, and let's get into that part of your story.
So everything was normal, okay. 2018, 2019, I had some devastating tragedy. I lost my husband.
Okay. I'm sorry for saying this, but you know, from 2018, everything seems like it's happening for you. Everything seems like it is perfect.
Yeah, true.
Can you take me through the experience that led up to that moment that is perhaps the worst thing that's ever happened to you?
It was just like any normal day. I remember it was a Tuesday. He had gone to pick my girl from, you know the baby, the girl was in daycare. So he went to pick her. Like he looked so strange, and he told me he was stressed. When he came back that day, he told me he was stressed. He wanted to talk to me about something, and I'm like, we shall talk. Because he normally came back and went back. So I told him, when you move back, we shall talk, because I was busy with kids and everything. So nakomya omwana kusomero n'agenda. Like few hours, they told me that he's dead. Like, I had a neighbor knock on my door. So this was also a Ugandan lady. So she asked me that, do you know what has happened? And I'm like, what? Kasim is dead. And no, she didn't tell me he's dead. She just told me Kasim is shot. And I'm like, who? Which Kasim? Kasim has just left here. Which Kasim? He said, Daddy Delisha. And I'm like, no, it can't happen. So I just left my kids with. She was like, okay, let's go and see. Like, we're all in panic mode. And I'm like, I couldn't believe, like, none of us believed. So for me, I went there thinking maybe he was shot the leg, the hand, is he even the one? Like, I went in the car praying. I left my kids with a neighbor. There was a white neighbor. She really liked my baby so much. So I left the kids with a neighbor. So we went there. It was around 8 p.m. Remember, he had left home at 6. So we reached at the crime scene. They told me. So we didn't find anything. So we just realized we were in a wrong place. So we drove again for like 5 minutes. Then we saw police cars, ambulances around. Then I saw his car. Then that's when I broke down. Like, I thought, yeah, he's the one. But still, I didn't know he was dead. Because I thought he's in the ambulance, they are trying to recover his like everything was happening so fast. I asked the police, what are you doing here? Why aren't you in hospital? Like, and the police were like, who's she? And that's the wife. So they allowed me in. So I had a Ugandan lady coming crying, like, Kasimo against the Kasimo food. And I'm like, what? That's when I fell down, I fainted.
I have to ask this. You know, I want to ask, at that point, to what extent did you blame South Africa for the loss of the man that you loved?
I just wish I never went to South Africa for the first time. At that time, I felt like my world was crashing. I wished like I never came. Like the pain was too much. It made me forget all about the wonderful life I had lived. So I was broken. Just to know that the man, my friend, my best friend, is dead.
When this situation happened, obviously when it happens to somebody like me, did you have the heart to press charges or something like that? Did you even attempt to do it?
No.
Why?
By that time, I didn't even have energy to do anything. But all his friends were shocked. Everyone wanted to know the truth. Like what had happened. What did he do? Like, why? Like everyone was shocked. So I remember that night, everyone was talking. Because, you know, for me, I had collapsed on the floor. And they were like, let's take her to hospital. For me, my mind ran back to my kids. I said, take me back home.
They had no father anymore.
No. And my boy was like 7 months.
That means he didn't know his father.
No. He does. It was hard.
How did you cope with that loss of the man that you loved?
So after his death, like, I can't say that anything was easy for me. Life was hard, so we had to come back for his burial because he was born in Masaka.
Also, you came back to Uganda?
Yeah, with the kids. So that was the longest flight of my life.
Obviously.
At some point, I even wished the plane crashed.
You wanted to be taken away?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. So you get here?
Yeah. Came back home. So even people at home, they couldn't believe. So they all just believed when they saw us. That's what everybody like broke down.
You had known this gentleman for now 7 years?
Yeah. He's the only person I knew, like, the only person, like, I felt like I wanted to die. Because I had lost a friend, I had lost the father of my kids. I was crushed. So I didn't find like any meaning to life.
I want to think about this. Did you hit South Africa for it?
Yeah. Because I wish I got the answer why he was shot. But I didn't. So I'll always live like in darkness, not knowing what happened.
You have never, ever in your entire life suspected that this might just be the reason. Maybe somebody felt jealous. Maybe it was a whole business ordeal going wrong. Did you ever think about such things? Or did you ever find solace from the fact that, you know, maybe he had done something right and he was killed for it?
Yeah, there were so many stories. I wanted to know so bad what happened. So, but unfortunately, even his friends didn't know anything. So
the closest of his friends?
Yes. So they carried out some private investigation. They paid some detectives to find out. Like, they wanted to know, is it from a Ugandan community? Is it from... But they never found out. Like, they had so many stories. Some were like, they were gangsters. Others were like thieves. They wanted to take his car. They were hijackers. So there were many stories. So we didn't get a chance to know what really happened.
But I'm going to ask you, when you return to this country, I know for sure that you made a decision that you don't want to go back to South Africa.
Yeah.
For a country that you thought was everything to you when you were living this country as a young lady, how could you be so hateful of that place?
Because, like, South Africa became so traumatic to me. Like, everything there reminded me of cussing. Even his friends, like everything, because he introduced me to Cape Town. So I didn't want to be in a place where I was reminded of him all the time. So that's when I say I need to stay home for a while. I stay away from South Africa because it was so hard for me. But still coming to Uganda, I felt like a foreigner, you know. I was away for some time.
So you virtually had no home.
Yeah.
You know, it was strange where you were in South Africa. But you didn't even know the place that you had left 7 years ago.
Yeah, like everything
Wow.
had changed. So I felt like a foreigner in my own country. So it was hard for me to start over. And I made a decision like I needed to stay for the kids.
Oh yeah.
Because by then I didn't have anything to do in Uganda. I felt I wanted to move. I wanted to go to the US. But still, I'm glad I never left because I'm happy now that I've been able to raise my kids by myself.
At least one of your kids knows who the father was.
Yeah, the girl knows.
How far have you gone in telling, you know, your last child, you know, your last born, the story of his father?
The boy.
Like who he was as a man.
I haven't had that conversation. I think he's still so young. But for him, he thinks every man is his daddy. Because he doesn't know his daddy's face. So it's the sister who tells him, that's not daddy. Like, because she sometimes tells him that your dad is dead, and he doesn't know what death means. So I told her, don't tell him that. For him, he thinks daddy is in South Africa. But at some point, he calls every man daddy because he knows nothing. So I decided not to tell him anything until like he can understand.
Obviously, it is pretty hard coming back down here in Uganda and, you know, finding out that everything is completely different from the way that you left it.
Yeah.
It's a sad thing that I'm going to have to ask you the same question that I asked you, you know, about, you know, your experience in leaving this place and going to South Africa. What was the adjustment like for you, in spite of the tragedy, you know, getting used to a country you once called home?
Yeah.
What was it like for you?
It was very hard because, honestly, I didn't have any starting point.
No.
We hadn't built the house yet. Okay, we had some rentals in Chengera.
Okay.
But I didn't have, like, my own home.
No.
So I was staying with a friend because I didn't want to stay with my family because this friend of mine was in South Africa. So I felt like I could relate with her more. Like they knew me more than my family. So I stayed with her for some time.
And how long did that take?
Like 6 months.
That's a short time.
Yeah, because her husband was Cosmo's close friend. They
Okay.
worked together, so the wife was my friend. So we stayed together for 6 months. So when I realized that I was in Uganda now, I'm ready to settle, so I moved out. I had to rent my own place.
How did you do that? You didn't have any money.
No, remember, like, we had, like, the late had a car, like, we had some stuff in South Africa. So everything was sold. And his friends told me, because, you know, I wasn't in control of anything. They told me, you know what, we shall send you everything after the burial, because everyone is going to rely on you, despite the situation you're in now. So we don't want you to spend this money.
Okay.
We're going to send it like a month after. So that's what they did. But unfortunately, during that time, I also lost my uncle.
Oh, the man that took care of you.
Yeah. So I went for burial. I left my friend at home. So after that, like after 2 days, I was still in the village. They called me like they had broken into the house and stole everything.
That was after the reception of everything that they had.
Yes.
Oh God. Oh God.
Like, you know, these random robbers who broke into houses at night. So, you know, since my things were still organized in suitcases, still packed.
They just found it
yes,
quite easy to take everything.
And unfortunately, there was that hard cash, which they had already sent me from the car, from everything they had sold. So they took everything.
You lost everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Like, I didn't feel the pain of losing everything by that time. So I felt it when I wanted to move out, to find my own place, that I didn't have money. So fortunately, Kasima had a lot of good friends. A few of those I know helped me. Like, they asked me, what do you want? Like, now I was at the end, and I was like, I want a place to stay, because I can't stay with my friend forever. So they sent me money. They sent me like 5M to look for a place and stay. So that's how I started life.
You look back at you look back at the time that you had in, your experience and everything.
Yeah.
I know there is so many things that you can look at and you say, I thank God for this.
Yeah.
But there is that one aspect about your experience that you say, maybe not. Maybe if I would have done things differently. If that is there, what would it be?
No, for me, I feel like I can't change anything that's meant to happen. But I feel like the major thing I learned is to always make my money. Despite, like, because my husband, we lived the best life. He gave me the best he could. So I think for him, he felt like that's why at times he was lazy, me not working, because he could afford anything. But for me, where the situation I was left in, I felt like I had my own money. Like, I feel like even if I marry a billionaire, I can never stop working, like making my own money.
Is there a chance that he was not supposed to make that deal? Is there a chance that he was not supposed to drive that car that day? Is there a chance that he did not have to make that friend?
Yeah. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Because he normally brought back the child at around 5. Then he used to go back. So that was normal for him. So that same day he did the same thing. He came home with a child, but this time he even stayed for a while. Like, he first took tea. That's when he told me, like, I'm stressed. He wanted to tell me something. So, but I can't say that I wish him, like, he didn't have to leave, because he normally left. Whenever he brought the child home, he left. They used to go hang out with the boys. So, unfortunately, that day when he was out, I sent him a message, like, there are things I needed at home. So he went into that supermarket. It's Pick and Pay. Is it Pick and Pay or ShopRite?
Very supermarket that you guys used to go to. Always.
No.
It was different.
Yeah. Because for me, I didn't know where he was. The supermarkets are everywhere, so I didn't know where he was. But I told him I needed this and that, so I sent him a WhatsApp. And he actually saw the messages. So he never replied. So later I heard when he was shot that he met this Ugandan lady in a supermarket. He was giving her a lift to her home. So this place this woman was staying was a very dangerous place. And he never used to go there. But he had to help this Ugandan lady. So he was shot from there, just in front of that woman's house. It's normally filled with gangsters, Nigerians dealing drugs. So since he was a black man, they couldn't recognize him from there, because that's why we thought maybe it was mistaken identity. So for me, I don't think it was all about why he left, but it's about the person he met. He was dropping off. So
the person they met.
Yeah.
Out of courtesy, I have so many young ladies and so many young men that want to leave this country to go abroad and stuff.
Yeah.
Can you warn them against, impending trouble that may come their way if they have all these great expectations? Can you please caution them about managing whatever expectation they may have from a person that has been there and experienced it firsthand?
Obviously, because I would tell them that, like, not to put their expectations too high. I was lucky to meet this honest guy. I didn't know about the one I had just met on Facebook, but not everyone can be lucky.
No.
Because I've seen so many girls there suffering under the hands of guys some have brought them, some they meet them there. So it's not always fun. So for me, I believe, since I've experienced both lives, so when you're here in Uganda and you're settled, there is nothing to be fantasizing about abroad or anything.
Really, I cannot thank you enough for, providing me company today. It takes real heart for somebody to share with me the kind of things that you have shared with me. Yeah. Going through all that heart, reliving those moments and stuff like that, it's always been a hard thing.
Yeah.
I've met people that say, "Gundi sagara kudamumboze."
True.
But you have shared that with us. So I honor you. I really am very, very grateful from the onset when you and we met. It has been quite smooth, and I'm honored for that. But folks, I can't thank you enough for having been a part of this show. I can't thank you enough for your company. It's an honor. I am going to ask you to take good care of yourself, to have a beautiful day. We do catch up next week for a similar experience. We are going to be traversing through all areas to find these young people, maybe sometimes older people that have left this country and they've gone abroad. Some of them have had instant success. Some of them have gone through real hardships. We are going to bring to you every single story that they have to tell. I should remind you, this is an Addict Films production. And of course, we are in a beautiful hotel called Common Lens. Go ahead and check out the website commonlens.com to do your booking and of course get to know more about this place. On camera, I do have a gentleman called Ibra Sechito. I also do have a young brother of mine. Yeah, he actually shares the name with me. He's called Matobo Frank. I can't thank you enough. Have a beautiful day and God bless you.